I forgot to put RCS ports on it. Hang on! RCS ports! Hang on. It's a near disaster. Because really, I want this thing to get up into space. There's been not enough flying in space yet in the course of this Chapter 2. And this is the space program, you know? We need to get up there into space. Okay. Save that one. Think it'll fly? I decided, yeah, I'm not going with the empties. No, we're gonna go all up. Gonna go test the whole vehicle right now. Alright, let's launch it. I like the looks of it. Yeah, it looks a lot like what I was imagining. Here, let's go. Tubius Maximus, Velo K. Kerman, Elena Kerman. On the one hand, you've got a totally brand new, untested vehicle, but on the other hand, you've already seen that our emergency ejection system, it actually does work. So, you know, you guys shouldn't be too worried about this. Okay, precision control is on. SAS is on. First flight, new RUNT launch vehicle. Let's see what kind of altitude we can get out of this thing. So liquid engines, they're burning, and there's the solid. Very stable, perfectly stable with the SAS. What happens if I turn that off? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it looks like very, very nicely balanced and very stable without the SAS, so that's good. I'm not a fan of just always, you know, using the SAS for everything. I think it's important. Ideally, in a perfect world, we can make just a perfectly stable vehicle, and you would never need an SAS. But I know none of these vehicles are perfectly stable ever. But this is a perfectly smooth launch so far. Yeah, it's working just fine. Just gonna need to pitch forward some. I'm actually heading a little bit to the west instead of the east. Here we go. What? Oh, okay, that was the solid rocket booster. Yeah, solid rocket booster stops at about 9,000. 9 kilometers. Still very smooth. And the reason and again, I was thinking of this when I was sketching this out on paper. Those engines, they'd be fairly right in the middle, so that it should be fairly well balanced. And it looks like it is working the way I wanted it to. That makes me happy. Yeah, this is work. It flies so nicely. So nicely. Pitching forward some. Go to that map view. Oh yeah, that works. Oops. Hang on, that's acting like it stopped. Kill the map. Why did we stop burning? We still got fuel left. Which tanks is it not? I thought that if you just stack these tanks... I thought that if you stacked tanks just directly on top of each other that they took the fuel, but I guess they don't. Okay, that was a mistake. So, yeah, we only used like just slightly more than a third of the available fuel. Okay, well that just means that our first attempted landing with this vehicle is going to be fairly heavy. Okay, okay. Let's go ahead and turn that RCS on. Help me get some control up here in the upper reaches, the thin part of the air. I like the lines of the vehicle. It's pretty. This one is pretty. I like it. Can I turn over? I'm not certain that I'll be able to glide back to land here, guys. We may be going for a splashdown on this one. Tubius is upset about that. Elena, she's upset about that. Velo, no, he's alright. Velo's all for it. And we do not seem... Okay, getting down to the thick part. But then it's going to be significantly nose-heavy. Can we get that nose up? I need to make a decision about whether to eject here. Nose very, very slowly coming up. You know, if it's... No, it's not going to make it. Hit it! We're escaping. Okay. Now, one bug in the game, which actually is good for Tubius, Velo, and Elena, if you have two aircraft which are built together as part of one assembly, to already splash down. It's back there somewhere. If you decouple them, so now that this very same pod that was just a short while ago dangerously unstable, now it's fairly stable. It handles very similar to the vehicle that it was very recently part of. So, you know, it's much slower in pitch and roll. So, it makes it actually a whole lot easier to fly. Even with the keyboard. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to glide back to land. This thing's not really a glider at all. It's a cannonball with 3 tiny little fins on it. I'm absolutely serious that this thing, this is one of my favorite designs that I've ever put together in this game. I love this vehicle. It's just so ridiculous. Okay, well, so it's a really, once I save the lives of these Kerbals and get back and start doing some redesigning, it's very, very, well, let's not get too slow yet. Hang on. I'm trying to balance that airspeed with the vertical speed. Bing! Yep. Welcome back to Kerbin. We'll send a boat out for you. You're okay. I love this thing. What a nifty vehicle, huh? I love that vehicle. Okay. So when we end this flight... Yeah, that stuff splashed down. Okay. I think I just... It's a very simple and silly mistake, is that I didn't really understand the fuel line issues. I thought that this would automatically feed fuel in there, so we just need to put a couple fuel lines in there. Use the black ones because they're more stylish. And come to think of it, in the course of the actual series, the actual program, that was the first operational, that's the first real-life save of the Junebug pod. I believe that if it were not for Junebug, then Tubius, Elena, and Velo, I believe that they would have died right then. But because of the pod, we get to have them right back. Tubius Maximus, Velo K. Kerman, and Elena Kerman. I just thought of something else. Hang on, end flight. Let's try and learn from other previous mistakes. Don't be repeating the same mistakes as before. Let's put some lights on this thing, huh? Yeah, big track floodlights. How about right there? Yep, so I can land in the dark. That'll work. Save it. Okay, here we go. Operational test flight number 2, the new RUNT vehicle. Okay. There's our liquid engines. Not quite enough to get the thing off the ground, but that's okay. Let's retract that landing gear right now while I'm thinking of it. That is so stable. It's just perfect. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy whenever a design that I sketch it out and I actually put it together and it works. It works like this. Probably pitching forward a little bit too much, too soon. Yeah, let's go ahead and use it SAS right now. Just make things easier on me. SAS is sort of cheating. It's making it easy. Okay, let's see. Is it draining the fuel from the correct tanks? See, so it's draining here. I believe it is, yeah. Okay, there goes the solid booster is done. Right about there. Okay, yeah, you can tell we've not exactly balanced. It keeps wanting to pitch up some, but definitely still controllable. It's just a very slight tendency to pitch upwards. Let's turn that RCS on right now. The tendency to pitch up is getting worse as time goes on. That's interesting. Which makes me think... Hang on, which tanks are we not using here? It is not taking any fuel out of the top tanks. So, yeah, we're keeping too much mass up top. Okay. Did I hook the fuel line up backwards or something? I was pretty sure I did that right. Yeah, it did take fuel out of the bottom tank, but it did not take fuel out of the top tank. So we got too much mass above the center line. Even still, with that mistake, it still made it up to over 30 kilometers. The imbalance may make it kind of unstable and hard to control once we get down here. Okay. Come passing 25 kilometers. Can we get that nose pointed in the direction of travel? We're about to start hitting some air that's thick enough to work with. 20 kilometers. Can we not point the tail at the ground? That's bad. I want to point the nose at the ground, not the tail. Okay, here we go. Okay, now you can see it kind of weather vaning around into that thicker air. Let's get... Okay, come on. Good. 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 Now let's do some thrusting to get some more control. Can we pitch up, please? Pitch up, please. Up, 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 up. It's not going to make it. Or maybe it is. Hang on. We're slowly pulling out of it. Yeah, we can make it. Tubius, Elena, calm down. No, we're gonna land this thing this time. Okay. No, I don't want to land it when it's all full of fuel. It's still, that's very, very heavy. You can tell it's got a pronounced nose-heavy tendency at the moment. I am just going to circle around here, probably fast-forward through a bunch of it, and I'm just going to burn off this fuel. And then, once that fuel is mostly gone, then we'll set up for landing. No, wait a second. Hang on. It's using these tanks now. It is taking the fuel from the top tanks. It just didn't do it first. Why did it not... Yeah, first it took fuel out of the bottom tanks, then it took it out of the top. That's not the way that's supposed to work. I don't know, maybe I'll try and land. We've burned off most of the fuel anyway. Put that landing gear back out there. Let's trim nose up quite a bit. Maybe if I go back and if I make the top and bottom tanks perfectly symmetrical, I can still do my staggered biplane, my staggered wing design, say just by making these tanks a little bit longer, and I can still, if the tanks are symmetrical, the wings do not have to be perfectly symmetrical. I can still do the bottom wings forward of that top, because I want to do that to kind of spread the lift out over a larger area, because this has in the efforts of making it more flexible for a broad range of loadouts, a lot of different tanks and engines, which I might want to stick under there. Lightweight engines, heavy engines, whatever. I think we decided long ago the Jeb sat in the middle. Jeb is the pilot, and that means Velo here sits in the middle. Velo K. Kerman is the pilot, and this thing does handle really nice. That's why Velo is happy. Rate of descent was a little bit high there. Had to add power. Just about splattered my Kerbals all over the place immediately after saying that the thing handles nice. That would have been embarrassing. Okay, can we have a gentle touchdown anytime? There we go. Kill those engines. Kill the trim. Let's hold off. I don't want to be hitting the brakes just yet. It'll tip nose forward. Yeah, see, I'm just barely tapping those brakes. But it's a perfectly landable vehicle. And again, it's landing right now. It's fairly heavier than it would be under normal circumstances, where I'd burn all that fuel off first. Okay. But the design, the overall design, that is a flyer, it's a lander. It works. It works. And it looks pretty damn cool, if you ask me. Yeah, it's pretty. And I'm thinking that for the... See, and this is... Okay, so this is the first... this is just kind of like a proof of concept prototype. Using the smallest solid rocket booster here and just a few of the fuel tanks in the middle. I'm thinking we once I get the bugs worked out of the fuel distribution here, so that stays balanced. Then I go the next step and I use the larger boosters and put like larger rocket fuel tanks, and so we can make a true heavy lifter out of it, because this and make a true grunt. So there's RUNT. I'm very, very satisfied with that vehicle. Yeah, that's nice. And I'll go back to, I'll do some more work to figure out what's going on with those fuel tanks. But I'll stop recording right now. Thank you much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye.